Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Dawn Huffy. I'm a brand partner with LifeWave, and this is the company that brought the phototherapy technology to the people. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you my testimonial about my heart. Yes, I've had great improvements in the quality and the function of my heart. But before I get to that, I want to talk to you about our great company and about the X39 patch, which is our best-selling patch. So LifeWave has been a company since 2004. We are a network marketing company, and this company has grown exponentially since 2019 because of the release of the X39 patch. Now, this patch was worked on by David Schmidt, the creator of all these patches, for over 10 years. And he finally figured out how to activate our own rejuvenating cells. Now, these rejuvenating cells can go anywhere in the body and fix and correct anything. Yes, it's so amazing. Yes, it is. So, well, let's take a look at what this patch is all about. This is what the patch looks like. It looks like a little round band-aid, and on the back is the name of the patch. Now, we do have 11 different patches for people. And so that's why we put the name on the back of the patch, because otherwise, if you get several out at a time, you might get confused about which patch is which and where do I put it. Now, as you flip it over, you can just bend it a little bit, and there is a slit down the middle, and then you just peel this side and then peel that side, and you stick it on your body. And as soon as you put it on your body, it goes to work for you. Why is that? It is because this patch is activated by our own light, or we could say our own heat. Heat and light similarly mean the same thing with this phototherapy. And so we start resetting over a third of our genes when we put this X39 patch on. One of the genes that gets reset is called P63. And this is the gene that is responsible for activating these lazy, dormant, stagnant, rejuvenating cells. When I first learned about this company in March of this year, 2023, I got educated about these rejuvenating cells. As we age, these cells decline. They start getting stagnant, inactive. They just don't work. So by the time we're 30, half of our rejuvenating cells are not functioning. And by the age of 60, over 90% are not working. That's why people end up with a lot of issues in their 60s and 70s. They fall, they can't recover from the fall. They just don't have those specific cells to help their body recover. That is a real problem up until now, up until this patch. This patch causes a change in our body. And how does it do that? In the center of this patch is a crystalline lattice structure. And if you think of a wood lattice structure, it's intertwined like that. This is similarly how this is formed. And so when our body light hits that structure, the light is reflected back into the body with a specific wavelength. And that wavelength makes a change in our body. Now, you might want to know what is in this crystalline lattice structure. The ingredients don't go into our body. This is a non-transdermal patch. It does not interfere with any drugs. No, it doesn't. So what happens is that the ingredients inside of this structure stay within the structure. It just is a reflective device, and it also is a wavelength that goes into the body. So all the different patches send a different wavelength into the body because they will perform a different action in the body. Another example of this change in the body, which is called photobiomodulation, is when the sunlight hits our skin. So the sun is the light source, and the sunlight hits our skin, and there are several things that happen. One thing that happens is that we make vitamin D. So this is a light source making a change in the body. Another example of photobiomodulation. Let's talk about how we wear the patch. We wear this patch for 12 hours. So I put mine on about 9 o'clock in the morning, and then around 9 o'clock at night, I take it off. We want to give ourselves 12 hours off from the patch in order to rest, repair. We need that time off the patch. Otherwise, we will just attenuate to it. Our body will get used to it, and it will begin to ignore the wavelength, and we don't want that to happen. So 12 hours on the patch, 12 hours off the patch. Your X39, when you order it, will come to you by the mail, and the packaging is beautiful, and I want to show it to you. This is the large blue mailing envelope that your X39 will come in. Inside of the envelope, you will get an instruction booklet. In here is lots of information for you, and one bit of information that is very fascinating is the benefits that you can look for. Here it is, and I really want to show you that on a bigger scale, so I'm going to get out another flyer for you, and we'll go through this. One of the main benefits is rapid pain relief. This is such a phenomenal benefit. I experienced this on day one because I had horrible back pain from a car accident I had in 2019, and couldn't understand why I was not able to fix my body, why I couldn't recover from that. It was because I was 61 when I had that accident. My body just did not have the rejuvenating cells to fix it. It didn't. But my first day, I got rapid pain relief. When you think of pain and we put it on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst pain, I was at an 8. It was excruciating. It was awful. I had several months of really, really bad pain because I had jolted my back really quite severely in January by almost stepping on my dog. And then I tried to miss stepping on her because she's little. And it was probably the worst jolt I had since the car accident. But any little jolt would send me into pain. But this was the absolute worst. So having my pain reduced was such a blessing. The next benefit is reduced inflammation. This is so imperative for good health because when we have chronic inflammation, we have disease processes going on. We need to get that inflammation down, and X39 will do that for us. The next benefit is to support wound healing. It speeds up the time of your wound healing. The next benefit is enhanced energy and vitality. I see this over and over and over again with my customers and my brand partners. I have a way of seeing what's going on with people's bodies. I can see that their color is off and their eyes are dull. And I see so much with the body. I have a medical background, and I also have a background in reflexology, working on people's feet for over 25 years and their hands. So always tuning into people's bodies. So I notice when things change in people. I notice when they get more light in their eyes. I notice when their eyes are open further instead of their eyelids drooping over their pupils and their irises. I notice when their color comes back. I notice when they stand up straighter. I notice when their speech is clear. I notice all of that. That's enhanced energy and more vitality. Okay, let's switch over to the other column. More mental clarity. I hear people say over and over again, oh, I have so much brain fog. Oh yeah, that's just brain fog. Well, let's get rid of it. Let's get this patch on the body and stop whining and complaining about brain fog. You do not have to put up with that. No, you don't. Enhance sports performance. So many pro and amateur athletes are using these LifeWave patches because they perform at a higher level. So why wouldn't they wear it? Faster recovery from exercise. Your workouts afterwards, you will recover faster. And improved skin appearance. And why would we get improved skin appearance? One thing that happens when we put this X39 patch on us is that our collagen levels are raised. And we have collagen everywhere in our body, but especially, of course, we have it in our skin. So our skin looks better. Collagen is the most abundant protein in the body. So elevating our levels of collagen is a fantastic benefit. The next thing you will see in your mailing is this instruction booklet. On the last page are 2 pictures, and this is showing you where to place your X39 patch. The top picture is to place at the back of your neck, and the second picture is placing the patch underneath your belly button, 2 fingers underneath your belly button. Now, the reason that these 2 pictures are in your booklet is because these are the 2 spots where the patches were placed when we did the clinical studies on X39. So just being congruent, we're putting those pictures in your instruction booklet. At the same time, you can place that patch anywhere on your body. I've heard over and over again, and I've experienced it as well, when we place this patch on an area of concern, say my shoulder really hurts and the worst part of the pain is right there. I want to put that right there. I do. Put it right on the point of pain, point of concern, the point of constriction. And the last thing you will get is your small envelope. We call this a sleeve, and this has your 30-day supply of X39. That is everything that comes in your mailing. Now, let's move on to my heart testimony. I have never told this before. I just told it to one of my friends the other day, and she was flabbergasted. She was like, Dawn, that's an amazing testimony. It's remarkable. And I thought, okay, it's time for me to share this with other people because some people might have this same issue that I had. And I will say had because this heart issue I had is past tense. It is taken care of. Remember, I started wearing X39 March 24th of 2023. I had so many fantastic results in my first couple of weeks. In 2 weeks, I switched over to be a brand partner, which is doing the business side of LifeWave. When I did that, I ordered all of the patches for people. I wanted to know what every one of those patches did for me so I could speak to them to other people. I wanted to know what they did in my body. And so I thought that would really help me in helping other people. And it has proven to be true. It has been a really good experience for me to say, you know, when I use that patch, this happened. And when I had this problem, I used this patch. But the main thing I want to express to you is that X39 is the constant. We wear this one every day. And I have without fail since March 24th. Okay, so moving on to this phenomenal heart repair that I had. Yes. So sometimes when we have an improvement, we don't recognize that we have it. This is why it's so important to talk to people about what's going on or what they're noticing. I usually check in with my customers and my brand partners about 7 to 10 days after they start. You know, what are you noticing? Because sometimes they don't have an awareness that changes are happening. Sometimes people do, sometimes people don't. And I can say that I really didn't have an awareness what was happening in my heart until I watched an interview. And someone was interviewing a doctor. He was a chiropractor. I can't remember his name, but I remember exactly what he looks like. And he was talking about his heart issue. He said that he was having certain symptoms. He was having warning signs. What was happening with him when he would be sitting in his office chair with a patient and he would stand up? He said everything would go black. All he could see was black. And it lasted for 15 or 20 seconds, I think he said. And I thought to myself, oh my, I have that. I have that. And then I started reflecting on that and I thought, I haven't had that in quite a while. And so it started to click in that, you know what, these patches really were correcting and fixing that for me. The other warning sign he said that he had was a decrease in oxygen levels. And so I really thought about that too. And I thought, okay, these are two examples of where I could see I would run out of breath easily. For me, for exercise, what I do is I climb up my steps that are in my building. There are 13 steps. I counted them today, so I could tell you how many I climb. I used to be able to climb one flight, and then when I would get to the top, I literally had to hold on to the railing because things got real kind of woozy, I would be lightheaded and I'd think, holy moly, hang on to the railing because you don't want to fall down these steps. And so that would really prevent me from climbing the steps again because I was just like, oh, that was like, I didn't even know what was going on up there, but let me get down the steps and I'm done with that for today. Now, I will say over the last couple of weeks, I've been really diligent about climbing the steps and I'm up to climbing 10 flights a day. I do 5 in the morning and 5 in the afternoon. And I really don't let myself eat lunch until I've done it or the evening meal until I've done it because it's kind of my reminder. Oh, that's right. Get out there and climb those steps because my legs were getting so weak because of another issue I had. So I really wanted to build up my muscle strength. And I can go right up the steps. There is no disorientation at the top of the steps whatsoever. I just go up, back down, and I usually start to really feel my heart pound pretty good at about the 4th flight. And I think, well, that's good because I really want to exert my heart and make it work a little harder. So, you know, maybe I can increase my flights of steps. We'll see how that goes. Okay, now getting back to what this chiropractor was talking about with his diagnosis. He went to his cardiologist, and they gave him this diagnosis of a right bundle branch block in his heart. So I don't really know exactly where that is in the heart. Sounds like it's on the right side because it's called the right bundle branch block, but there's a blockage there and in more than one artery. Okay. And so he went home. Being a chiropractor, they are not really crazy about doing drugs and surgery. I'm not either. That's why I never even went to the doctor about my situation, because I thought all they have to offer me is drugs and surgery, and I don't want either one of them. So he went home. He then found out about X39 and diligently wore that every day. And I don't remember how long it was between his first appointment and his second appointment, but when he went in the second time and they did the scan, and the cardiologist was looking at the results, and he was shocked. He said, "There's no blockage there anymore whatsoever." He called in one of his cohorts, another cardiologist, to look at the scan, and he said, "I can't see it either. It's gone." And that is exactly what happened to me. One other thing I had, and he had this as well, I called it a heart palpitation. I got it when I was pregnant with my son, and my son is 39 years old. So I've had that a long time. I remember going to the doctor when I was pregnant with him. And of course, my heart never palpitated when I was in there. Of course, it wouldn't do it while I was there. And they're like, "Well, everything sounds fine." I was probably in there for 10 minutes at the most, and they sent me home, and I never really had it checked again. But I've had that all of these years, and that is completely gone too. Now, I want to talk about an experience I had along this journey over these 9 months on the LifeWave patches. There was a time about, I don't really remember how far in, I didn't write it down, but it was 3 or 4 days. I could feel things moving in my heart. Yes, I could. It was very alarming to me, but I had so much faith in these patches because I had gotten so many results already. And then I had quite a few people on the patches telling me their results. So my belief was building in these higher and higher and higher. So I kept patching. And through those 3 or 4 days, I could feel things moving and shifting. And it was like, whoa. But I just like, it's okay. I'm going to be okay. And I was okay. And I'm better than okay now because, yeah, I'm doing so good. Now, one other thing that I noticed about my oxygen levels, I think this has to do with the oxygen levels. For years and years and years, when I would go to church and sing the hymns, I couldn't sing the whole verse. I'd have to stop because I'd run out of breath. And I just thought, well, that is just so weird. So I would just stop singing, and then maybe a couple phrases later, I'd start again. And I just lived with it. I didn't really know what was going on. But the summer, I went back to a church that sings a lot. And I was able to sing every phrase, every verse, and they sang every verse. And I thought, what's going on? This is a change that I noticed. Something is improving for me. And it all had to do with my heart. All the pieces kind of came together for me when I saw that interview with that chiropractor and him talking about his issues that he was having, and I was having the same issues. Yes. So this is my heart testimonial. Yes. Now, I want to say one other thing about this. With my intuition and when I'm speaking to my customers, I sometimes know just exactly what question to ask. It's kind of phenomenal, really. I remember asking one woman a question, or actually, I was giving her an example because she wasn't a customer yet. And sometimes I'll give a testimonial about what's going on or what's happened with me. And I pulled out this story about a bee sting and how I put glutathione on my bee sting. And I thought, why did I even bring that example up to her? And she goes, oh my gosh, I'm a beekeeper and I just got stung on my cheek. And I thought, what are the chances of that happening? So the reason I'm talking about this is because I have a customer, she's probably been on the patches maybe 3 months, but about 2 weeks in, I'm calling her and saying, what are you noticing? And I say to her, sometimes we don't really notice what's going on, but what I notice is that this with my heart, could feel stuff moving around and moving out. And she goes, Dawn, I noticed that too. And I thought, how is it that I gave her that example to trigger in her mind? Oh my gosh, that's right. I had that, because she wasn't really noticing what was changing in her body. But when I gave my example, it reminded her, oh, that's right. I could feel something going on in my heart too. So I know I'm not the only one that is experiencing these recoveries. Yes. Okay, now I want to talk about how you can get started on these patches. If you are intrigued and you really want more vitality, you have health issues that are plaguing you, and you're sick of the drugs and the side effects, and you just want something natural and powerful, let me tell you how you can get started. There are 2 ways to get started, and the first way is to become a customer. When you become a customer, you go on auto ship and you get to purchase your patches at wholesale price, which is a wonderful benefit. Now, the second way that you can get the patches is by becoming a brand partner. And then you are also on auto ship, but you get to make money while you help other people. It's a wonderful benefit. For me, 2 weeks in, I switched over to brand partner. I knew that these patches were making incredible changes for the better in my body. And I'm a person that I like to share. I like to talk about what's going on with me. I really love helping people. And so I thought, well, let's get your status changed here to brand partner so that you can make money while you help people. And that's exactly what I've been doing. And I'm just loving the benefits of the financial part. This company is so generous. They pay out 60% of their profits to the people. It can be to the customers and to the brand partners, because there are ways customers get benefits financially as well. So if you want to know about all of that, I will post my email below this video, and you can just send me an email, or you can reach me through Facebook through my name. My name's right on the screen there, so you can certainly do that. All right. I think that's everything for tonight. I thank you so much for being here, and I would just love to help you with your health. So, yes, I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.